Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Atomic Mass Transmissions live. Live as in, I didn't do my song. Man, we ruined that one today. I didn't do a song. Here's your song. How's that? Paint with jazz. All right, today we're going to be making a diorama of a crashed TIE fighter. I have a whole bunch of just broken X-Wing parts. Like sometimes, in shipping something gets broken or stuff like that. So we got some broken X-Wing parts and I was digging through them. I was looking at them. I was like, what a cool idea. I would love to make a little diorama, a little story. So I got some parts and we're going to go over the rest of the construction. I started some construction, things that would be kind of hard to do off screen and take a long time to dry. So we'll go over the process of that and what I did and what I used, and then we'll just start building and seeing what happens. We got some little wings and stuff like that, and we're just going to start building. So if we want to kick it to the mini cam, boop, that one. Are we on the mini cam? All right, so this is the start. I worked on this at home to get it going. And this is just some old driftwood we had out on our porch. And I kind of broke it up. And you have to dry it out. Like any like natural materials you harvest, you need to dry it up. You need to take care of it. So I put it in some aluminum foil, put it on the oven on like 175 degrees for like 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours, just to dry it out, get the moisture out and any sort of like little critters that might be living. And then I just started breaking apart. I got this nice shard and I really enjoyed that shape and thought it added some interesting visual design to the piece. Get these tools out of the way so you can see a little better. But what?
Shoulder check.
My shoulder?
Don't put it more in the shot.
Bam. So I started like breaking up pieces and making sure that they kind of fit that shape, using a hobby knife to like get those sharp points. And I put a little 2-part epoxy putty down and just started sticking them in, using tweezers and the hobby knife and just getting the overall composition. And the reason it's leaning like this, I thought this would be a nice composition story here. I have this like knot, you can barely see it, but this is actually a hole in the wood. My hand's in the way, like that. That's actually a hole in the wood. So I'm kind of creating this like visual from lower left to upper right. And now we need to place our TIE fighter there. So I got a couple TIE fighter bits. I got a few different wings. I got some more rocks. I got a couple of like just X-Wing bits and bobs. Got some plastic card because you never know. I think we're just going to try and put our little story together. This is what by the way, this is what the wood looked like beforehand. You can kind of see it in the bag. I don't want to pull it out. It's very dusty. It's very dusty, dry wood. And then to get this ready, like I said, I took some very thin super glue. I did like 5 coats. I coated this wood in super glue, let it seal, let it harden, and then did another layer. This lets it get really rough and tough for painting. It's still fragile, obviously. It's a diorama, but it makes it a little more sturdy for painting purposes. So I did like 5 layers of super glue. So let's get some gloves on. Yeah, the aftermath of a dogfight. There, Seeker. My poor TIE fighter crashed on got shot down by Wedge and probably need 2 gloves for this. So this is just some 2-part epoxy putty. You can use any sort of tough material that's malleable, any kind of putty you want. I wouldn't use bake, the kind you bake, because you don't want to put your wood plinth in there. Let's mix this up. Yeah, I'm imagining like, well, I think we have a little story in my head, and we'll tell as we go along. As we start building it, I think the story is going to come together, and it's not just the aftermath. It's the aftermath. So this could be used as a salvage objective. I think that making some objectives would be cool. And I think that this might lead to me building some objectives and some three-dimensional asteroids and gas clouds. If you guys are interested in that, you should let us know. Like, I would love to build some interesting objectives and stuff for some X-Wings. I got my scum. Sorry if the rubber gloves are making a lot of noise. I got some scum I've been painting. I need to add the punishing one to my list and some Fang Fighters still. But I love objectives. I love three-dimensional objectives, and anytime I can make those, I like to try. So maybe it'd be a fun project for us to do. Well, if you make them, Team Mech, if you make some, you can use them in your game. I think I'm gonna use the back of my tweezers here. Start shaping out the land in which our little scene exists. I think 3D gas clouds would be really fun to make. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I got some ideas. I need to get with Plumber, and get some parameters and make sure I'm on the right track. And then maybe here in a future stream we can make some cool objectives for our X-Wing games. It's kind of fun to find something in the hobby and kind of make it your own and do your version of it. With that putty right down to the edge, but I don't want to go over the edge. I want a nice clean. Well, it depends on how you make them there, Team Killers. You got to follow the rules of obstacles. Be fun to hobby some up, but you got to follow the rules of obstacles. Let's get that sort of smoothed out. Let's play with shapes now. What if you can't overlap the obstacle, but what if the obstacle pops off the base? Bum, bum, bum. You just pop the obstacle off the base. All right, I got some of these little fun rocks. So this is some rocks. I collect rocks and debris from anywhere. Anywhere I find it. This was found in Colorado, of all places. We found a little farm on vacation one year that let you go in their backyard, and they were, nah, I don't like that rock. They let you go in their backyard, and for $10 you could fill a box out of a fossil bed that they had in their backyard. It was amazing. So, of course, I did it. And my kid and I dug through, and we found some cool fossils of like some plant materials. So like some little flowers and such. And then I keep it because it makes really wonderful small thin rock for basing. Just gonna kind of mash that in there a little bit. There was a question for me and I missed it. I'm sorry, I was doing this. Yeah, you need a quick disconnect for movement. It's easy to do. There was a question up above. It tagged me, but I didn't catch it in time.
Yeah, the question is a lot of friends looking to jump for more hammer deletion, but the idea of unit cards are throwing them off. Being chance for yearly, annual, like a codex that can be used in place of the card.
I don't think there's any plans for any sort of book that replaces the cards. I don't think that that's on the list of things to do. Let's get a, well, we don't want to get too crazy. We still need to put the TIE fighter on there. Where did I get the main piece of wood you're building on? Once again, I collect stuff from different places. This was somebody at a show was selling wood plinths. I believe, I don't remember exactly who it was now. I don't remember exactly who it was now. So, but I got, there's always several people building wood plinths. You can find people that build wood plinths and sell wood plinths pretty easily if you go digging. Let's push that back just a little bit. I actually prefer cards. I know everybody's different. Everybody's different. Like cards are just easy to reference and easier to update. Let's get rid of that piece. Let's get rid of the whole bottom here. I want this sunk a little bit deeper. So we really need to get rid of this front because it sticks off. We're going to just get rid of some fins here. And probably should have started with the wings instead of the rocks. So what happens, you just edit. Just edit yourself. And all we're doing is just kind of cutting to what we think looks right. There's no real plan here. Just kind of thinking about composition again. Evolution is a thing. You got to move forward. You got to adapt to the... I mean, I had to learn how to stop rewinding my VHS, you know. Okay, let's see if we can get some cool jagged shapes in the fin. So I'm just going to use my hobby knife. And this doesn't have to be super precise. We're just trying to get some visual information at this scale. Let's put a hole in this wing too. So maybe here. I hope you can't see what I'm doing, can you? So use the hobby knife. Be careful. Hobby knives are super sharp. You gotta be an adult. Or pass as one, I guess. That's what I do. I just pass as an adult. Make sure your hobby knife is sharp. We're just going to start carving out a chunk of the wing. Oh, the assembly broke. The factory assembly just broke. It's amazing. We want this to kind of go with the way TIE fighters are built. And just looking at the way, I looked at a lot of reference of like crashed TIE fighters. A lot of interesting stuff out there. Is my head in the way? Not too bad.
I mean, I can only see your hair growing at the speed.
Oh no! This is a custom diorama I'm just building. Just thought it'd be a lot of fun to build, and I had two different ideas for the diorama before even starting it. So I pitched around the ideas and did a couple mock-ups and such, and got kind of everybody's like idea and dream of what they think it should look like. And then I just started building it in my head. I think this one needs to be cut down as well. Let's get there. Let's make this one lean back further. You have that very iconic hexagon shape. I think if we make that lean back, you're going to play with that shape a little bit more. So right now we got this hole in the rock and everything is going up. You're reading across. The wing is along the same plane. This wing is along the same plane, but then this one's jutting the opposite way, and I like that. I think that adds a whole lot of interest, having that one element break away from all the others in a pretty dramatic fashion. I think we could take a little bit more out of this top plane. Just a little nick. What do we think, team? Well, since I broke this one off, I know this will come out. Let's just cut it off. And then we'll get rid of that cut. We can use our hobby knife to get a little hole in there. Third-party parts for certain game components? What are we asking about there? I'm not using anything third-party. It's a TIE fighter from X-Wing. So if you have a little hole there, you can kind of indicate that maybe like some cabling or pylon or pistons were traveling through that. Yeah, it makes a nice V drawing to your eye, to your cockpit. Yeah, I want to draw all the attention to the cockpit. I'm hoping to get to my idea today, so I'm kind of rushing a little bit. But I have an idea. Oh, maybe we should crumple this too. Let's crumple this. See if we can bend that gently. Yeah, there we go. A little more damage there. Like get that crumpled wing going on. If you hobby an obstacle for yourself, that's not a third-party obstacle. That's a hobby obstacle. Like, I'm promoting the hobby. I think the word third party is getting hung up on something that it's not. But you can hobby up some obstacles. Unless I'm misremembering, I don't think I am. Yeah, I might add some wires or cabling. That's a good idea. I have some thread that will make good wires. This wing got real screwed up. BK can confirm, or if Schick or Pagani is in here, like, if you build some obstacles, you built that. It's hobby. I know you can't see that. I'm sorry, I'm just making a little hole in the tie wing here. Just trying to get kind of damaged up. Let's see how it looks. What do we think? What do you think, team? Yeah, this is a little diorama. We're just making a little diorama today. I love Star Wars. I love the little stories that Star Wars tells. And, you know, there's all these beautiful little TIE fighters and X-Wings and A-Wings. And I was like, you know what? I want to tell a little story with these. They're lovely little miniatures. And let's just have fun today and tell a story. So you're talking about pilots now for our little TIE fighter. And honestly, I think that's where we're going to go. I'm thinking about giving it a shot and trying to sculpt a Jawa. Can you see it? Can you see what I'm doing? Do you want me to zoom in a little bit better? I got it.
I
Maybe.
didn't know how much you might want it zoomed in.
I can't zoom in more. Oh, I'm on delay. I'm a dork.
Oh, you're real zoomed in, friend?
Too far.
There you go.
Yeah, this is a dental tool. So I'm thinking about trying to sculpt a little Jawa. Oh, break the cockpit glass? Great idea. Let's do that. We'll pull that putty out there. Should I be right here? I think right here.
Yeah, that looks beautiful.
Let's break that cockpit glass. Can you see it? Oh, I got a little knife.
Oh, bring it up just a little bit.
Where you want it?
A little bit more.
I think we can take a chunk out of... I mean, you use your ships for play, but if you want to make a diorama, like, pick one up. They're a little miniature kit. They have endless possibilities. The only limitation is your imagination. So if you're inspired, pick one up. Anything can be a diorama. I've seen some dioramas of nothing but like pink foam. Matt DiPietro did one that was just a wall, and it was a gorgeous piece. So if you get inspired to do a diorama, these make great little desk dioramas for your home or office. Your neighbors come over and be like, whoa, what is that? And you're like, that's my TIE fighter I built. put that little bit there. Crush up some more rocks. What kind of putty am I using on the base? It's just a 2-part epoxy. You can pick up any sort of 2-part epoxy will work for it. Just not the kind you got to bake in the stove, because that's going to go real bad for your wood plinth. We're going to push that putty right up against that wing to kind of start locking it into place. Start smashing, getting everything where we want it. Now that we've pushed all that putty around, you got to kind of reshape it a little bit. That piece, man, that piece we broke off there almost looks like an R2 unit. Which doesn't fit with our story. Oh, a rogue R2 unit. R5 destroy. Beep, beep, beep. Sith droid assassin. What's the wood from? This piece, all the stuff on the back, is just a whole bunch of driftwood that was on my deck. I dried out and baked for about an hour, half hour, 2 hours at 175 to dry it out. And then I coated it in super glue to make it paintable and a little more tough, because you don't want that to be untough when you go to paint it. And then the block, I can't remember where I got the block from. I was at a convention. Somebody had blocks, and I picked them up. Like, that's just one of those things, right? Like, sometimes I just pick stuff up, and I don't remember whose it was. And I apologize if somebody out there is watching and is just like, Dallas, you picked that up from me, dude. I'm sorry. I just picked up a whole bunch. All right, that's pretty good. So what do we think of the composition? Where's Tony? Tony's been judging my composition. Tony's not watching. Never trust the guy. Man, it feels too much like a droid. I gotta get rid of that. Just, or we can put it on its side so it's smashing the ground a little bit. There we go. Now it doesn't feel like a droid. So bossy. So we broke off a bunch of these wing bits. We can take a couple of those and lay them about. Phase 2 camera. Yep, like this. How's that look? How's that look? Kierbor? You can hear the music in your head, right? Dun, 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 dun. I had to take it out of key because Twitch will block me. Maybe a little panel over here somewhere. Let's put it back behind. Nope. Maybe it's like golf plate where it lands. Needs to be one more chunk of rock on the front, I think. Are you going to do anything with the front? What front? What are we talking about? Yeah, the broken glass will be painted with like a dark shadow, for sure. This is actually why I love this rock. It just breaks in like these wonderful shapes. I think we want like a little archipelago kind of shape. The little cliff looks solid. Yeah, I think this is just going to be a little cliff. This is just going to be flat. I'm going to leave this wood. I'll tape all this wood area off. And then the backdrop and the tie will be painted. We're just sifting through our rocks over here. Finding a shape we like. If the, like some is that, can you see that? Where's that? No. Oh, we're way up here. So like right here. So like that's too big. This stuff is great. You just, there we go. I don't like that corner, so I'm gonna get rid of it. We're gonna put a little more rock up here.
Bring it to the left there. There you go.
This little guy works really good for tamping down this stone. Now this isn't super solid yet. We're gonna have to use a little super glue to seal all that down. I think it needs another little bit. Oh, so I was thinking of water in that cave, but we're almost to a point where I'm going to try something that I've never tried before. What I've been thinking about with this piece is to sculpt a Jawa, and like the Jawa is like out scavenging this TIE fighter that's been here for a long time. Like maybe the Jawas just discovered it. Maybe, you know, it was in a really treacherous, tricky place and they haven't been able to get to it. And they're like, you know, imagine a bunch of Jawas like looking up a mountainside and being like, how do we get up there? Like, look at that sweet wreckage. That's good wreckage. I know.
Get in there so they can see this fun, cool process.
I'm putting stuff on the back. It's so hard.
That looks really awesome though.
It's like it's just adding some texture, right? We're just getting some. So like I'm imagining like this is like up on some crazy rock cliff, and the Jawas have been like watching it for, you know, a generation. Like someday a Jawa will come along, and that Jawa will be the Jawa that gets that TIE fighter up there. Okay, let's get a little super glue. Oh, I need to cut the tip off. A little super glue. Getting our string. We're going to use a might do a couple of little strings to kind of show like cabling hanging out of that wing. This is just some thread. Do we have paper towel anywhere? I'm sorry. I splashed some super glue and I don't want to stick my arm in it. I got work to do after this. I'll get stuck. So this is just thread. And we're going to dip the end of it in super glue and stick it inside that wing. Then we'll use a toothpick to kind of get this set where we want. Oh, maybe. Patience. Oh my gosh. Once you get it, you gotta run away. There's other materials you can use for this as well. I'm just using what I had on hand. Oh my gosh. I don't think that's gonna work for today. Not today. I have to dig out a little something else. So a pilot, I don't know if I can sculpt a pilot. I was going to go with Jawa because I think the Jawa is just easier. Y'all not going to make me do a pilot, are you? That would be terribly rude. Too big. Don't like that piece. What else do we got laying around here? What else do we see? I think that's pretty good. So we try and sculpt a Jawa. We could do some like interesting rope stuff. Like he's working on things. So we'll do a couple little ropes, like tie-offs. Cutting them long. A little something on my tweezers that everything's wanting to attach to. So I'm just letting that be a little long, waiting for that to attach. And then once that dries, I can clip the string off a little bit. So let's start working on the Jawa. What if the Jawa was the pilot? I love it. This is going to be super tiny. So this is aluminum putty, and I get this from some hardware stores and stuff. It's like a plumber putty, not a Michael Plumber putty. A lone Jawa found it, wants to bring it in alone. Yeah, he's like, it's the Ahab of Jawas, right? See, now we got the story going. Like this crashed TIE fighter, it's up on this rock cliff. Generations of Jawas have been like staring at it and speaking of someday we'll be able to get that TIE fighter off that rock cliff. And then one Jawa comes along, that one Jawa in a generation, and is like, it's my time, I'm going to do this. And they're like, you're crazy. And he's like, they. There's like, whatevs, I can do it. So we're going to use a toothpick. Can you see this? You want to change the camera? Or change the camera, kids.
Our apologies, no.
We're just talking, just making stuff, just trying to build a Jawa. Watch as summer focuses in on our lone Jawa.
Noggin, sir.
That's where I gotta be.
Let me see if I can zoom in past that noggin of yours.
So we only got maybe a little bit more than that to work with. We're doing it live. We're just...
Right, sir, we are real in there.
The fortunate thing about being a Jawa, it's just a little guy in a potato sack, really. I think that's about the height of a Jawa in X-wing scale. This might take 2 attempts. Let's give him some arms. The Lone Jawa. Yeah, I'm telling you. I would totally watch a show about a lone Jawa. Get that putty to stick. They got a seam down the front of their rucksack. I feel like they have a seam, don't they? The other arm.
Bring it down a smidge, sir.
The Jawalorian. Then Jawarian. Watini's the way. Okay, that arm got a little huge. And a little misshapen. I should have paid a pro for this. I was like, I'll try it. Yeah, that's why I picked a Jawa. It's just like it doesn't have to be great. There's a lot of extra putty back here. I'm gonna have to clean up later. I think the back's gonna be kind of formless. We're all a little misshapen, I agree.
Are you gonna name your Jawa?
Oh, what should his name be?
I don't know. What does chat think?
Chat, name the Jawa. You know, I usually talk and paint, and like this is like so far outside of my comfort zone. But sometimes that's what, that's what hobby is sometimes, right? Kind of getting outside of one's comfort zone and seeing what you can do. Jack the Jawa. I don't know if I know official Star Wars Jawa naming conventions. I feel like they have like long, complex names for some reason. That makes no sense. pet and a kick. I feel like my Jawa's got a little sass going on. Am I the only one that sees the sass? What do you think, chat? He's got sass. Look at this sassy Jawa. This Jawa's like, you wanted this TIE fighter win? Look, man, this is Tatooine. The best I can do is Thursday. You know? This one arm's a little misshapen. I think I'm going to have to shave that one off. He's got kind of a... Oh, that helped a little. Sorry, I'm in the pocket. I'm in the pocket. Talk to me, Chad. Give me something to talk about. I'm not coming up with ideas. You come up with the ideas. Let's go on your adventure today. I'm just over here sculpting the sassiest 3mm Jawa in the world, in the universe, galaxy. Look at it. That Jawa got sass for real.
He's pretty darn cool.
I'm curious if this...
Kind of like a Jonathan or something.
Did I get the scale right? I think I got the scale pretty right.
Whoa.
How do we feel there, chat? It's a pretty sassy Jawa. Now I can't put this down. I'll lose it forever. This just be gone. There we go. I got a little kickstand. All right, so this is where we're at. How's that look?
Bring it down. Let me zoom out.
Little zoom out. Little finishing moment.
Bring it down a little bit, friend. There you go.
So I think the goal here will be to take these ropes and to kind of tack that one there. And then I think tack this one to maybe the canopy. Or should we go across? Maybe we can add a little tarp. What if we add like a little tarp? Like the Jawa's got like a little work zone.
This should be his clothesline. He's hanging up all his little ropes there.
Oh, his unmentionables. He's hanging up his unmentionables on his clothesline. Yeah, I like these like tie downs, like it's keeping the wings from toppling over while working or something. And they add like some like crunchy visual interest, right? Like they just add some of that like weird, what we typically call greeble. It's just noise, right? You're just adding some noise. So I think this one goes to the rock. I think this one goes to canopy, and I think we do another one as well. And then maybe we add like a tarp, and then we'll put our little, what was the name? Did we come up with a name?
Let's see, we got Jawa McJawison.
Jawa McJawison, of course.
I think Michael is perfect.
Michael.
Michael.
I mean, we got to spell it Star Wars. There needs to be some apostrophes and.
Yeah. We can put an apostrophe in between the C and H.
Yeah.
Add some numbers in there.
Yeah, just add number. Get rid of the C. Just be like M''IKKAL. It's Michael.
Yep. I love it.
Little Jawa boxers, I'm telling you. Like. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use a little glue because we're happy. This is like super thin glue. I'm just barely touching the rocks and the wings. And this will give everything a little something to seal while that putty cures up. I'll finish up the wings, the strings on the wings, and get Michael, I guess we're naming him Michael, attached. And then maybe in 2 weeks, we'll come back and we'll do a little painting. What do we say to that? So, I mean, Summer will be here. I'll probably be here. I mean, it'd be weird if I wasn't. Let's make that a little more taut. And we'll trim that up here in a little bit. What's that? Glue cures. But this will be, these will create nice like little visual interest. Maybe we do like a little rope here. Maybe he's like using ropes to like clamber up the thing. Oh my God, it's 2:03.
I was enjoying this. I was giving you some time.
Well, hopefully everybody else was enjoying it. I was having fun. I sculpted a tiny Jawa.
Your light, sir.
My light. I'll turn that off. Am I good? It's not the song yet. So let us know if you'd like to see some more of this. We'll definitely be back to paint it, I think, because I think some nice sunset or maybe bright day. I don't know. We'll do something. We'll do something fun with the paint job. And hopefully that gave you some inspiration to go out and try maybe a diorama yourself. And then who knows? If you want to see them, let us know. Maybe we can build some obstacles and stuff. I would love to do that. So we can talk about that. So remember, currently every Tuesday and Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here on Twitch, you can check out Atomic Mass Transmissions live, and we do all kinds of fun stuff. We're painting up miniatures, making dioramas, who knows what else. Sometimes we have devs on. And you can always check out Twitter and Instagram, Atomic Mass Twitter and Instagram, for all the latest news, information, and announcements coming for all your favorite games. So until next time, we'll see you later, and go be the hero you want to be. And now we play the song as we fade out onto the end card as I do my song, and we go, what is it time? Yep, and tell me when I'm clear, 'cause I'm running out.